Let's see what you think.
Okay.
So you're the little girl. You're gonna role play with me. All
Okay.
right. So you're sitting there, and I come in and I see you there, and I can tell you're anxious and you're needing a little bit of support. So take your fingers and sparkle your fingers, just like wiggle your fingers, and then stretch your arms out really, really wide. Yeah. Notice how far out you can reach. Now take a big breath in, bring your arms up overhead, let your fingers touch. And when you breathe out, bring your hands right down the middle of your body, right down in front of your heart. Good. Let's do that again. Reach out and feel the very, very outside edges of you. Breathe in, breathe out, and come right down the middle. Let's do one more time. Big breath in like a balloon. Fill yourself up like a balloon and imagine this little tiny tear as you bring your hands down. Now let's pause here and tell me what you notice.
It definitely has a calming effect, um, without a doubt.
So that's the first thing I want to do is I want to get you back into your breath and back into your body, right? So you started to come back into where am I in my body? And then we came down the midline. Very often, I like to do things that work on the midline because that is the quickest way to bring the left and right hemispheres of the body and the mind together so that I can get a little bit more accurate read on where I am. So once we do that breathing, I may be able to ask them how they're feeling, but I may also want to just do some movement. So if I recognize that this anxiety is showing up as uh, low energy and the child is kind of withdrawn or needing to increase energy, then I'll pick something in the movement that's going to help to increase the energy and get them feeling a little bit more positive. Something that I might do with them uh, is a breath of joy. And a breath of joy is a standing exercise, but we can do it sitting down too. And
It's
it involves some really big movement. So you're welcome to stand up and do it, or we can
okay.
sit down. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your arms out in front of you, take a little sip of breath, and then bring your arms out to the side, take a more of a breath. And then the third part of the breath, come up with your arms and then breathe out, fold at your hips and bend down to the ground and say, ha.
Ah,
Right. Now come up and do it again. Breathe in and breathe in out to the side and breathe in up to the top and then, ha, and really
oh,
swing yourself forward. One more time. Big breath in and out to the side and up and ha. Let's go a little faster. Breathe in and up and over. And one more time, breathe in, bring your arms up and out and over and fold. Now hang upside down and shake your body. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Good. And then slowly come back to your seat. Tell me what you notice.
um, pleasantly kind of activated. Um, and that strikes me as an important exercise because with anxiety, yes, we need to kind of calm our nervous system down, which in the exercise, I believe you call it balloon breathing, we just did. But we also have all of this tension in our body and no place to go with it. And so, this more activating kind of gesture um, is kind of very helpful in terms of all of this energy, all of this fight or flight, and no place to kind of go with it um, is kind of really helpful. And I could actually imagine how those two sequences might be helpful for children I often deal with who have a needle phobia. Uh, and are a combination of one very kind of hyped up and apprehensive, and then all of this tension and no place to go with it.
Absolutely. And we know that when we get stressed out, whether it's a physical danger or an emotional danger or just a perceived stressful situation, the body hunkers down, right? The muscles tighten and contract so that we can curl up in a ball to protect ourselves or run. And we hold that tension and it shows up as either really rigid and clamped down or wanting to press it out. And if we can start to move the muscles and move the tissues of the body, we can start to move that energy and release it. We can raise it or lower it, like you said.
So, what about if it'd be okay, I could propose some other situations to you.
Sure.
Um, a child is doing homework and they're saying, I've got to get it done, I've got to get it done. And the parent can see that they're kind of exhausted and they're not being productive. What um, what kind of movement might help the child kind of reset in those, in those moments where, the homework where, there's kind of mental exhaustion, perhaps boredom, um, just the sustained efforts kind of getting to them. What might you suggest
What
or to
comes to
try?
mind? Yeah, what comes to mind is washing machine. And the reason washing machine comes to mind, and we'll give it a try in a moment, is because sometimes we get stuck, right? And sometimes we get in the same old pattern and the same old response. And sometimes washing machine can help to unstuck us. So let's give it a try and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So
Oh
sit
yeah,
up tall in
washing
your
machine.
chair.
Let's go. Yeah.
Sit up tall and sit on the edge of your chair so you have some room to move. And then bring your arms so that your hands are resting on your shoulders and your elbows are sticking out to the sides. So if we were going to do a little geometry lesson, I would say your upper arms are parallel to the floor. All right. Now you're going to turn to the left and breathe in and the right and breathe out. And you're going to make your body rotate like the center of a washing machine. And then start to get a rhythm going where you feel like it's kind of automatic, right? You're almost like a little rubber band is bringing you to one side and the other. Squeeze your belly in as you breathe out and start to go a little quicker and make your breath a little bit louder. Maybe even make a washing machine sound. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Good. Make whatever sound or movement feels really good, whatever speed you want to be. Maybe you want to be a super heavy duty wash right now. Maybe you've got a lot of muck in there that you got to get out. Yeah, keep it going. Just a little bit more. Imagine all that stuff you worked so hard on today. Some things went really well, some things not so well. Imagine just flinging it off your arms, flinging it out of your body, letting it go. All right, now slow it down a little bit and then come back to center. Take a big breath in, hold it there for a moment. And then breathe out and relax your arms. And just notice how you feel.
Again, it definitely kind of wakes you up. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if I need you to be able to do your homework, while I want you to be able to sit there and be focused, I want you to be alert, right? I want you to do something that's going to help you connect. And so again, it's bringing in that activation and that calming down simultaneously. I call it tranquil control, right?
Mhm.
So that I know where my body is. I have some ability to focus, but I have the energy moving in the right way so that my focus is productive.
And to my mind, it seems so important that we're doing it